Breaking news, the Pittsburgh Steelers have gotten a steal in the market in a position group that has a lot to prove for the 2025-2026 NFL season. My name is Tamir Jean-Charles. This is Steelers Digest. Let's hop right into it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please get subscribed. 67% of you are subscribed. And we've got a good one coming your way today. So, Jaylen Warren has extended a contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers today. And before we get into the optics and, the background of everything, the numbers, I would like to go over his stats for last season. The 5'8 UDFA, 5'8 2022 UDFA, spent 2 seasons at Utah State, and then he transferred to Oklahoma State, to where he went undrafted. Played 15 games out of the 17. I think it was a hamstring problem that niggled him for 2 games. Obviously, he was the number 2 to Najee Harris last year, who is in LA right now with the Chargers. 821 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. That those numbers have to come up, and obviously the yards and yards per attempt have to come up. That's what Steelers fans got on Najee Harris for. But going into the specifics of this deal, it is a 2-year deal. Now, he still has 1 year left on his deal. And if you know Pittsburgh and if you know Omar, he likes to get deals done a year early. That's why Cam Heyward, thought he had some good leverage coming to the table for his contract. But this is not about him. He got a 2-year deal. So essentially it's a 3-year deal. Same with the TJ Watt deal as well. $7 million this year with $12 million guaranteed. And if you have any background on the James Cook deal, to where he didn't get his $15 million a year that he wanted, but he got guaranteed money. And for this running and for running backs, especially in the NFL, you know how GMs view running backs. They get hit hard every single play. That's how the position works. It's really tough to pay those guys a lot of money. It's just too risky. Obviously, the background of the Le'Veon Bell deal, which I will get into later in this video. But yes, so Rappaport reports that. And it's a good deal for both parties. I mean, he's 26. A lot of people are going to say, well, why did he get a new deal? Well, he is our RB1 to start the year. Kenneth Gainwell being RB2, and then obviously our 3rd-round draft pick out of Iowa, Caleb Johnson, will start the year as RB3. Most likely, people are expecting him to work his way up to that RB1 spot, but he's got to earn it. And with Jaylen Warren, you get a lot of things. You get the speed in the open field that Najee didn't have. You're hoping, obviously, with more touches, that the touchdown numbers go up. And 821 yards without the touches that Najee got last year. You're hoping that goes up to 1,100 or however much you want to put it up to. But this is just, I think it's like $700,000 plus for him. It's really just going up a little bit, which is good for both. Well, I wouldn't say both. I guess I would say for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Jaylen Warren got paid, and he wanted to get paid. So I know he's very, very happy that he got paid. And this is what I was getting into when I was talking about Le'Veon Bell. Jaylen Warren is the first Steelers running back to receive a contract extension since, obviously, big number 39. Willie Parker signed a 4-year deal in August of 2006. It's been a long time coming, and it has been well-deserved for Warren, who obviously, like I said, was a former UDFA, like Willie Parker himself. And this is a perfectly fine deal. It's a perfectly fine deal. We need what he offers. And Caleb Johnson and Kenneth Gainwell just aren't as astute as pass pro as he is. I mean, this guy would take on starting, Mike linebackers, on blitzes and, lay them on their backside. And that's what NFL coaches value, right? Like, if you don't give me Jahmyr Gibbs, who can run block, but if you don't give me Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson, you can't say, well, Tamir, my upside is this big, so I'm this good at this, so I don't really have to be a good pass protector. That's not what we have in Kenneth Gainwell and Caleb Johnson. So it's like you've got to reward rarity when you see it, and when you need guys who can protect your quarterback, in a play action situation or just in a regular drop back situation, which three step, 5 step, Jaylen Warren is the guy for that. So, I mean, this is a very, very good deal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a very good deal for Jaylen Warren himself, who, at 26 years old, after this is hoping, if this really pans out good for him, is hoping, to be able to land one more big contract before it's all said and done, especially for his position. And like I said at the intro of the video, this had to happen for a lot of reasons. We need an RB1. Essentially, they don't really trust Caleb Johnson, and I actually want to get into that, just because you draft somebody who you think is gonna replace Najee Harris, replace his production, replace the things that he does, but you've got to earn that. Like, you can't, like I said, if you don't have that Bijan Robinson out of Texas, Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama type style and type upside to your game, you've got to prove yourself. And especially if you're a rookie, you've really got to prove yourself. And Caleb Johnson has a lot to work on. If he works on those things, can he be a big hit in Arthur Smith's wide zone scheme? Absolutely. That's why they drafted him. But the pass protection has to be up. Catching the ball out of the backfield has to be up. And he's just got to probably learn the playbook. Like, we're not there at camp, but those are the things that his coaches want him to do. Like, when you get really riled up that someone's pass protecting, the running back coach was talking about that. When you get really psyched up that your rookie's pass protecting, that's something that you really value, which is very good for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this is a very, very good deal. I would say 6 days before we tied him down, 6 days before we go to New York to face the Jets. So you're taking a look right now at RB1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but who knows? That's subject to change. I'm sure you Yinzers would want that to change during the season and have number 20 as RB1, but we'll see. Kind of a weird situation in terms of, you paid a guy who you don't really think long-term, because that's what contracts are. They're long-term things. So, kind of a weird situation where you don't think, you give a guy a contract and you don't really think he's going to be your guy, your number one guy long-term. But as in a present situation, had to get that done. That's why the money is where it's at. That's why the deal's where it's at. It's not one of those 4-year blockbuster deals or something like that, something that James Cook got, who is, their guy for right now and their guy for the future for the Buffalo Bills. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Was he deserved for this contract? Did he not deserve this contract? Do you guys think Jaylen Warren isn't a 1,000-yard rusher? Probably has the most upside in the passing game out of all three of our running backs, to be fair. But just let me know what you guys think, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Peace.